It's time for some Tuesday night hoops in the Heights. We've got a big-time girls basketball matchup, small school but big action coming your way as the Illini Bluffs Tigers travel to Peoria Heights to take on the Patriots. Alongside Michael Savoy, it's Gavin Russell from Roger Bergia Gymnasium. Fantastic to be here. A couple of standout teams, two of the best in the state. There's no question about it, and they're going to go out at it together tonight in a non-conference battle.
No, you're sure about it, Gavin. And I mean, these two teams, these two teams represent the best in terms of small school basketball in Peoria, the area. So this should be a fun matchup.
Certainly should be. Both are 20-plus win teams right now. Let's start with Illini Bluffs. And historically, Illini Bluffs has been an excellent team. You can go back to 1987 to 2001. They won 10 regional titles in that span. They've had a number of great years, state final appearances, you name it. They're continuing that into this year, and I think they have state finals probably on their mind. Yeah,
this Illini Bluffs team, they're very, I guess you can say, playoff driven. They know what they can do in a given year. They know that how successful they've been. They know that, they're one of the smaller schools in this area that has a target on their back. So they're definitely looking forward to this challenge against a really good Peoria Heights team as well.
Certainly, and Peoria Heights, maybe not quite as much history for the Patriots historically. They've had a few decent years, a lot of banners on the wall. There's a few girls basketball ones up there, but they're in the midst of a historic season. A win tonight would tie their all-time winningest season in school history, dating back to 1977 when they won 22 games. 2 total wins would make them the winningest team in school history. So a lot to play for, but I think more than anything, they're looking to just make that deep postseason run on into March.
Yeah, and this team, they haven't had the most recent success like Illini Bluffs has. Illini Bluffs year in year out for the most recent years, for the past 5 years, at least what I can think of. They've been among the top class of 1A, but it's been the opposite for Peoria Heights. They've been a team in girls basketball that hasn't really been sought after, but this year is a completely different Peoria Heights team. They're rolling into this game, with a 21-5 record, unprecedented territory for this Patriots team, but like you said, Gavin, they're looking forward into the postseason as well.
Certainly. How about some key players to watch? You start with Peoria Heights. Emily Dana has been very good, 14 points per game on average. You also look at Najaya Russell, who is averaging 9 points per game, but 57% from the field, so very efficient shooter. You can go to Illini Bluffs and a number of players there as well.
Yeah, Lily Lakoziak for Illini Bluffs, a player to watch out for. I believe she's the ICC commit on the team. And you also have an ICC commit on Peoria Heights. I believe that's Emily Dana. So you have some ICC battle tonight along with just the regular basketball game. So this should just be a fun game to watch.
Indeed, Kara Redeker's squad over at Illinois Central College is getting a couple of good ones from the small school. And, Michael, I think a lot of people will lose sight of, small school may go overlooked. You've got the 4 big Peoria schools. Heights may not always get the same recognition, but there's some really good athletes coming out of both of these schools and some really good individual teams. I think people definitely need to start noticing, especially heading into playoff time.
Especially, in the 1A area where, a lot of people don't necessarily look at these schools and think, oh, there's a boatload of talent here, because it's so small that people don't really recognize it. People, when they think of Peoria area basketball, they think of teams in the Big 12 and Middle Illini as being those teams with, oh my gosh, they're going to have talent. But, a lot of these smaller schools in the area like Peoria Heights and Illini Bluffs, to name a couple, they have some talent too.
Certainly do. We've got game time coming up in just about 5 minutes. We'll get you starting lineups and all that good stuff coming up here on ClutchSportsOwl.com from Peoria Heights High School. For now, we're going to step aside for a quick break, and we'll be right back for girls basketball action.
Central Illinois, we're going to overtime. After 4 years of preps coverage in Central Illinois, Clutch Sports Media is ready for a new era. CSM Overtime.
What is CSM Overtime? We're going beyond the broadcast to give you in-depth coverage of your teams,
Your stories. Your stats and standings.
your highlights and action shots.
With your subscription, you'll get to see news and feature stories from all sports, up-to-date stats from around the area, and thoughtful analysis from our team of experts. As for our broadcast and social media coverage, it's only getting better.
With your support of Clutch Sports Media Overtime, we'll continue to grow our free broadcast coverage with more sports, more games, and more innovation.
And thanks to our partnership with Too Efficient Media, your social media feeds will be filled with Central Illinois' best sights and sounds. CSM Overtime will also give you access to full galleries from some of the most talented photographers and videographers in our region.
As the new season approaches, it's time for more.
More action. More stories.
More coverage of all Central Illinois sports. It's Clutch Sports Media Overtime.
Welcome back to Roger Bergia Gymnasium, campus of Peoria Heights High School. It should be a good one here tonight between the Patriots and the Tigers of Illini Bluffs. Again, Michael Savoy, Gavin Russell here with you. Jonathan Michael, our producer / photographer tonight. He's pulling double duty for us. And we also got Patrick Huber upstairs running the camera. Got about a couple minutes left on the clock ahead of game time. Michael, there is postseason coming up faster than I think a lot of people realize. IHSA, the girls basketball season, starts a little earlier, concludes a little earlier, and you know, you'll often hear Road to March for high school and college hoops. The Road to March for IHSA girls basketball, if you're playing in March, that means you're in the state finals, and I think that's on both these teams' minds.
Yeah, really the road to March for high school basketball on the girls' side really is the road to February in terms of how the regular season ends. But really the road to March for IHSA girls basketball is that state championship. So really it's the February trip into March for girls basketball. Unlike the boys where the boys start later in February, so really the road to March is from probably the sectional championship onward. So it's a little different, and I'm just excited to see these girls basketball teams play in 1A because both these teams can make a lot of noise.
Certainly. We've got the national anthem coming up. We'll step aside for a quick break briefly. However, one of the Lady Patriots is going to be recognized here at the school. Emily Dana being recognized for her 1,000 points. Again, the ICC commit getting some good recognition here at center court. The nice frame there for the basketball. A lot of 1,000-point scores in the area. I feel like there's a stretch of 2 or 3 days where we were just seeing multiple 1,000-point scores, which is a very impressive feat if you ask me, Michael.
Yeah, just the fact that we have a whole lot of 1,000-point scores in the area is just it's really impressive. I mean, getting 1,000 points to begin with for anybody is just impressive enough. Just the fact that we've had a ton in the Peoria area this year, it's really impressive.
Certainly. Looks like we'll get a moment to step away for the national anthem. And we'll come right back for Illini Bluffs and Peoria Heights on ClutchSportsOut.com. Don't go anywhere.
Attention business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you ready to take your brand to the next level? Look no further than Clutch Sports Media, your go-to destination for local high school sports coverage in Central Illinois. Our business has reached almost 1 million total views on YouTube and is connected with an astounding 39,000 accounts on social media, averaging thousands of views with each post. That's 39,000 engaged and passionate sports enthusiasts who love tuning into our content, ready to become your new customer. Clutch Sports Media is offering an exclusive opportunity for local businesses to seize the spotlight. We are opening up prime advertising spaces in our social media posts and live sports broadcasts. Partnering with Clutch Sports Media isn't just about visibility. It's about being part of a community that loves and embraces the spirit of sports. It's about making lasting connections with your target audience. Don't miss out on this winning opportunity. Clutch Sports Media, where Central Illinois plays its biggest games.
National anthem was just had. We're back here for some basketball action. We're going to get starting lineups for Illini Bluffs and Peoria Heights. Illini Bluffs in their traveling gray uniforms, looking spiffy with the orange trim, orange numbers and letters. With the white Illini Bluffs, slightly U of I Illini reminisce. They'll get their starting lineups introduced here. Peoria Heights in their home white uniforms, the blue trim and striping with the blue letters and numbers. The lights go out for the Patriots introductions. It's a pretty nice crowd on hand. A lot traveling from Illini Bluffs, but of course a lot of Peoria Heights faithful here in their home gym. Something that we've seen a lot more of in the last couple of years here in Central Illinois, the souped up introductions. I mean, you think of a really big basketball game or any sporting event for that matter, they're always a big introduction before you start out.
Yeah, I love the big introductions with both of these teams. Like not just, you know, Peoria Heights, but I've seen a lot of introductions like the one they have in Pekin, which when they renovated that gym, they made it look beautiful with the lights and the pregame show, all that kind of stuff. It's just really fun. It sets the scene really well, I gotta say. It makes the game that much more meaningful.
Certainly. I was at DMAC last night covering that one. They've got the new video board out there. I mean, these teams are really starting to come a long way. Very professional atmosphere, if I do say so myself. Starting lineups for both sides, starting with IB. Brooke Buchanan, Reese Pruitt, Annabelle Fortin, Marissa Robertson, and Lily Lakodiak are the 5 for the Tigers. And we'll get you the Patriots as we start things out. They tip it in. We'll go very quickly. Tania Cox dumps it down low. Shot thrown up by Russell. Gets her own miss, and she'll be fouled. And a very fast start for the Patriots, not wasting any time.
Yeah, the fast start was needed by this Patriots team. And, you know, when you play a team like Illini Bluffs that, you know, has a very identical record to you guys are both over 20 wins. You guys both have proven a lot. You know, it's going to take some pretty strong starts for any team, really. And Peoria Heights got on that strong start.
Certainly. First foul shot is good, so getting on the board to start are the Patriots. Nyasia Russell. Crowd goes silent and knocks in the second one. Nothing but swine. Russell just a touch under 10 points per game. A lot of efficient scores here. 57% from the field, as I mentioned earlier. Pump fake, gets it down low. They'll work it around. IB sets things up. Buchanan.
When I was talking with Coach Jared Scott before the game, he had mentioned this 1-3-1 zone that Peoria Heights is playing and how they play it for the passing lanes. They aren't the most aggressive. They don't trap in the 1-3-1. They play unconventionally, and they, like I said, they play for the passing lanes, and it's worked out well for them.
Zone defense can be really hard to break unless you have a magical way to figure it out. Sometimes it can take teams a whole half to really dial up a good game plan. There's an open shot for 3 just off the iron. No good from Robertson.
Yeah, and that's what Peoria Heights is going to live with that 1-3-1 is what a pass inside.
Good pass. It's going to be off the foot. Ball's on the ground. We're going to get a tie-up right there. It'll be a jump ball, and it'll go to IB, but nice hustle on the play from Rihanna Foster. Just a freshman, so there's definitely some talent coming back for both of these sides past this season.
Yeah, very impactful freshman at that. She's starting as a freshman. Not a lot of freshmen can say they start on the varsity level.
Throws it up, gets their own miss, kicks it back out. 3-pointer on the way, no good from Fortin. Bounces around, plenty of hands touching it, and it's going to stay with Illini Bluffs. Lakodiak had a couple shots at it.
Yeah, Lakodiak is also using her height to her advantage, too. She is the tallest person on the court, and she's definitely using that to her advantage, getting a lot of offensive rebounds.
Gets it down low post. A little hook shot runner, no good from Pruitt. And pulled down by Peoria Heights. Wallace, Janessa Wallace will set up the offense. There's Rihanna Foster, works it back out to Wallace. And a traveling violation right there. A lot of dribble drive action there, but Illini Bluffs had it pretty much covered.
Yeah, I had a feeling that maybe that would have happened. You know, a lot of passes, a lot of that motion offense. Sometimes when teams run that motion offense to an extended period of time, sometimes those travels can happen. So it's unfortunate for Heights.
Here's Lakodiak for three in the corner. Gets Illini Bluffs on the board.
And that's what Peoria Heights is going to have to live with that 1-3 run zone. A lot of corner threes will be given up in that 1-3 zone. Doesn't matter how you run it, it's just going to happen.
They're looking to that corner early. Here's Emily Dana. Dribbles around herself. Not much going on for Peoria Heights. Got a couple free throws and another turnover. It's their second in a couple possessions here. Definitely maybe a few kinks to work out early on. I think both teams probably look to settle in and find a bit of a rhythm.
Yeah, and I think you gotta think that, you know, both these teams are good, and Peoria Heights hasn't been in this situation in a while. You know, this is just one of the seasons for them that they haven't had in a while, so they're probably just a little nervous.
They pick up a steal of their own, go down the court, and it's going to be a foul on a bump. It's going to be Annabelle Fortin. And that's the second foul of the quarter on the Tigers. Getting to Dana, runner shot off the glass, bank open late as Emily Dana puts Peoria Heights back in front.
It's a big shot by Dana. It's a pretty awkward shot there. You know, not the easiest shot there, but nonetheless, she makes it count.
And one for Lakodiak. Lily Lakodiak doing all the work so far for Illini Bluffs, and she'll go to the line to shoot one more.
Lakodiak scoring all the points so far for Illini Bluffs. She's pretty much the difference maker for this team, and she's an ICC commit for a reason.
ICC no slouch at basketball, both men's and women's. Again, just a 2-year school, so a lot of players will stay local if they're from the area for a couple of years and then move on to larger schools. Not uncommon. Dana with a little dribble drive, makes a move, got open. Three-pointer, top of the key. Nothing but net for Janessa Wallace. Full court pressure. Need to get it across half court quickly. They do. Robertson down low. Lakodiak, another and one.
Lakodiak, do yourself a job. What a shot there. And she's once again going to the line for another three-point play.
Lakodiak has done everything so far for the Tigers and is perfect again. All 9 credit to Lily Lakodiak.
And if I got to say, if the Patriots of Peoria Heights really want a chance in this game, they're going to have to contain her, because she's one of those players where you know she's going to get her points, but can you contain her is the question.
Hard to keep up with a player that can score at will, and it's going to be an offensive foul, an illegal screen credited to Janessa Wallace, the third on Heights.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure about that call. I mean, she wasn't moving by any chance, and that's what Chris Reese, the Peoria Heights head coach, really wants an explanation about. But nonetheless, it was called.
Lakodiak couldn't get that one to go. Bounced around, offensive board. Illini Bluffs will have another shot at it. Lakodiak was open on the far wing. Here's a three from the other side as an air ball by Fortin. Dana will work something around. Tania Cox near side to Foster. Foster's shot is blocked, and a foul coming down on Sylvia Thornton.
not a big fan of that foul there. A little bit more of those frustration fouls that you don't necessarily need to commit as a player, but you just do because you're just frustrated.
And Thornton will take a seat. Thornton, another one of the freshmen out here for Heights, so pretty young team. They've got a good mixture. Lakodiak, dribble drive, step through, no good. Little Euro step action. Couldn't get it to fall.
That was a pretty shot, but I mean, she's been aggressive all night so far. It's just a sight to see someone like Kodiak going to work.
And they find Russell inside. Nice pass and layup, 9-all. Over halfway through the first quarter. Down the lane, and it's tipped away. It'll stay with Illini Bluffs. That's a couple plays we've seen from Peoria Heights. Really good passes. That time they finally finish it off.
Yeah, and they've been really aggressive so far in the first quarter. I do like a team that's aggressive like that looks for the ball inside, and it has worked out for them.
Lakodiak was double teamed. Throws it up off the glass. Gets it down Foster. Kept her footing. Russell shoots it, no good. Over on the wing, driving inside, some contact, no call. Saved by Heights, but it's going to stay with Illini Bluffs. 4-10 over to the court to Robertson, back around to Lakodiak. Back to Robertson, she'll shoot a three off the iron. Taken down by Cox. Foster works it back out.
Yeah, I expect Heights to take their time unless they're giving something that is high percentage look, like a pass inside or a shot inside.
Emily Dana on the drive. Goes up with it, no good. Bounced around, and Illini Bluffs will move it up the floor. Lots of standing around. Lakodiak will shoot it, no good. She's missed her last couple shots. Dana with the steal after the offensive board. Gets it up, back to Dana, and she will finish off the layup. She created that whole sequence, the steal underneath, the pass over to Tania Cox, and eventually finishes it off. Here she is again with the steal. No time to even finish the thought, Michael.
Yeah, really, Dana's just been all over the place. She gets the steal, she makes the good pass, and gets herself an open layup with the 2-on-1 game, and now she just gets the steal. So she's been all over the place for the Patriots so far.
Both teams don't like to play slow. Back to Dana, 40 seconds. She'll shoot a three, no good. Offensive board, and she'll get it back out to her. Cox on the other side. Wallace tried to feed it down low. It's stolen away. Illini Bluffs can take the last shot if they want it. Lakodiak looks up the clock, and I think that's what they'll do.
Yeah, I think Lakodiak realizing what the time is, I mean, I want to blame him for looking for the last shot. End the quarter on a good note. It's probably a shot in the corner, too. I got to say, this 1-3-1, it will give up shots, high percentage looks in the corner, too, so that's probably the shot.
They go down low to Lakodiak. She'll turn around, throws it up, no good at the buzzer. Didn't go in, may not have counted anyway. It was right at the horn, but that's what will leave the first quarter of play 11-9. Illini Bluffs kind of jumping out there a little early on. Lily Lakodiak, all 9 points for Illini Bluffs, really getting it done. Emily Dana was heating up late in that first quarter and was able to put her team in front, but we'll get a quick word for how about you advertising with us? It is possible for you to have your name, your logo, your business, your brand right there on the screen. You can email clutchsportsil@gmail.com for more information. We love promoting local brands all over Central Illinois. That's Peoria, Bloomington, Normal, and everything in between. So if you want to have your brand or name recognized, put a little word out there, hit us up for some more information. We'd love to hear from you. Michael Savoy and I'm Gavin Russell on the call from Peoria Heights High School, and we've expected this one to be good. Of course, Michael, we know a couple of teams that are well-renowned in the state for small school girls basketball have big things on their mind for the postseason. this would just be a big one for the resume and probably more than anything a confidence booster for both sides.
Yeah, I think whoever comes out of this game on the winning end will probably come out of this game most likely with the most confidence. But even if this game's close, you know, both these teams realize that, hey, we're some of the best in the state, so, or not only just the state but the area. So if this game's close, I want to see both of these teams, you know, come out here with some confidence.
Emily Dana drops it back out. Down the lane, Foster couldn't get the runner to go. Offensive board, and it'll be foul shots coming up for Nyasia Russell.
Yeah, I mean, Peoria Heights, as soon as the tip started, as soon as this game started, they've been pretty aggressive. So, you know, if you're beating the Illini Bluffs by 2 by doing what you've been doing, then stick with it.
Unable to hit the first foul shot. Second is no good either, so empty trip to the line for Nyasia Russell. 2-point game still intact. Neither team plays a whole lot of substitutes. Combined 8 players on the bench for both teams. Lakodiak drives in, off-balance shot taken down by Russell. They'll work it up the court. Cox will drive in, dips it down low. Russell on the finish. A lot of really good passing so far. There's been 2 or 3 nice assists for the Patriots.
Yeah, all they've really been doing is just looking inside. They want to feed the ball inside, and Russell's been on the fitting and a lot of those shots inside.
Stolen away. Foster. Cox will set things up, picks up her own dribble. And timeout for the Heights Patriots. Chris Reese and company will talk things over for a moment. Probably a good timeout. Looked a little stalled out on that possession, and I think what they know is Illini Bluffs can score in a hurry, specifically Lily Lakodiak. They don't want that to happen. They want to keep this momentum rolling. Yeah,
they want to make sure they do good on the offensive end, so maybe their defense doesn't have to have so much pressure on them, because they know how good Lily Lakodiak is, and they know if you don't you know, do right on the offensive end, that the defense, you know, they could. I mean, a 1-3-1, it's not always going to be perfect, so there's going to be times where there could be some open shots made by Illini Bluffs, so you got to make sure you do good on the offensive end if you're the Patriots.
And timeout management in high school is so much different than, say, college or professional, because late game scenarios, clock doesn't stop as they feed it down inside. It's Russell again on the finish. She's been the benefit of a couple really nice passes. Now one came from Janessa Wallace.
Yeah, a lot of the nice passes. I mean, you don't have to do much on the shooting end if you're giving a nice pass.
Thrown up, Lakodiak gets the board. Back down, a couple of shots from Addie Clark don't make it. And this one's stolen away by Lakodiak.
Yeah, maybe, you know, Illini Bluffs after this steal could maybe capitalize on the offensive end. They've been scoreless for what I think is more so like 4 minutes. I can't remember them scoring for at least maybe 4 minutes. 2 minutes left in the first, I'd say around that time, yeah.
It's been a few minutes. Indeed, Dana off the steal, and she will finish with the left. Timeout, Illini Bluffs.
Yeah, good timeout by Jim Belleville. He realizes that, you know, his team isn't necessarily locked down in the offensive end. They're not completing their plays in the offensive end. They're getting good looks. You know, like I said, the 1-3-1, they give up some shots in the corner. They give up corner threes. They give up high percentage looks in that area. And Illini Bluffs has gotten those looks. They just haven't been able to make their shots. And I mean, you got to give credit to Peoria Heights defense, too. A lot of steals for their defense. And that's how they've gotten a lot of their points. They get steals and they do good transition offense, too.
Certainly do. Really just holding them off balance, and, you know, of course, Lily Lakodiak dominated that first quarter with all nine of her team's points. Even if she is kind of getting her own, we know she's going to have a big game whenever she plays, but holding the other 4 players on the court off balance, I mean, that's an impressive feat in its own right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not often where you see a team as good as Illini Bluffs with their record and what they've done this season, over 20 wins. and there's only one player in the middle of the second quarter that scored all their points. It's not often you see something like that, and it speaks to how good Peoria Heights' defense has been so far. And they've been doing full court pressure ever since the game started, so kudos to them for being able to pull this off.
Zone defense is very, very difficult when executed well, and so far Heights has played it almost to perfection.
Yeah, they aren't as aggressive on their 1-3-1 defense as you might see other schools with their 1-3-1 defense, but they do play the passing lanes pretty well.
Come up with a number of steals that have resulted in scores tonight. And we're trying to work it into the corner. Gets it down low. Shot just inside the free throw line is no good from Cruitt.
Yeah, and that's once again a high percentage look for Bluffs. They just haven't been able to make the shots, and you can't really blame them for their looks. You just got to be able to put the ball in the basket.
Russell down low, kicks it back out to Tania Cox. Janessa Wallace will man it herself. Emily Dana contested three, no good. Another offensive board for Russell. She can't get that one to go, and it's going to be a foul going the other direction. First foul of the second frame. Gutsy shot by Dana, but once again, Naija Russell is just feasting in the paint.
Yeah, she pretty much makes her living down in the paint. She makes her living from all the good passes she receives from the Peoria Heights guards, and she makes her living getting all those offensive rebounds. And she's a strong player too. When she doesn't get the rebound initially, she fights with the other players. She fights with Illini Bluffs players to get the rebound.
Her and Emily Dana both with 6 points so far to lead Heights. Lakodiak has 9, no good on that one. Can't break the dry spell, and it'll go back to Peoria Heights. And it's been several minutes since Illini Bluffs has recorded a basket.
Yeah, and it's not even just that. Lily Lakodiak, she scored all the points, so you just got to find offense somewhere. And they've gotten good looks, like I've said. They just haven't been able to make the shots. And it's also been some offensive possessions where they've been overpowered.
Foster lost it for a second, got it back, and gets it back out to Wallace. Turns around, spins, up no good. IB pulls it down.
I think a basket on this possession, and even if they don't score here, just ongoing possessions, just a basket. See the ball go through the hoop will go a long way for the Bluffs.
And a kick ball. Lakodiak drives down, out of control, looked like it was tipped away. Jim Belleville was maybe looking for a foul, three-pointer, no good. Dry spell continues for the Tigers.
Yeah, and I think if she looked in the corner, Lakodiak looked in the corner, Marissa Robinson was wide open. I mean, they probably have gotten a good three-point look out of her, but nonetheless, Illini Bluffs still in the dry spell.
Dana thought about spotting up a three. We'll kick it back out. Tania Cox back out to Janessa Wallace. Down low, it's a Naija Russell finishing once again. She's got 8 points and a 10-point lead for her side.
Yeah, once again, she's the benefit of a really nice pass and really nice finish.
And finally, Lily Lakodiak breaks the dry spell that lasted well into this quarter. She's got all of her team's 11 stripped away. Peoria Heights wanted a foul.
If they keep going, they get numbers.
Kicks it back out. Kodiak will try a three just off the back iron.
Just been that kind of game so far for Illini Bluffs where they haven't got much offense.
Three the other way was no good. Really only seen a couple shots hit from outside in this one.
Yeah, a lot of Peoria Heights points have come from the inside. Really just been the benefit of good guard play, good passes from the guards, and Naija Russell down low. Just, you know, if you're getting a good pass from the guards, it makes your finish that much easier.
Kodiak, a runner off the glass. She's got all 13 for Illini Bluffs. So make no mistake about it, she is carrying the Tigers right now, keeping them in this game. 4 straight points for Lily Lakodiak and a steal.
Yeah, let's see if Illini Bluffs can maybe capitalize on this steal and maybe get another person in the scoring column. I guess
Kodiak again, 15 points, all 15. Might as well be the Lily Lakodiak Tigers at this point.
Yeah, it's really just been Lily Lakodiak versus Peoria Heights. I mean, it's just been that kind of game for Illini Bluffs, a game that they're probably not used to seeing where, you know, it's just one person scoring for them. And, you know, that stuff can happen within a quarter. It happens. You know, you play for, 8 minutes? Or, yeah, 8 minutes in varsity girls basketball. So sometimes that can happen. But for that to happen in a little over or a little less than 2 quarters played, that's pretty impressive, honestly. I mean, I got to say, it's pretty impressive.
Could be on our way to one of the best performances, individual performances out of any player this regular season that we've seen if she can keep things up. However, I think Chris Reese, with that timeout, their second one that they've taken, probably looking to find a way to stop that trend.
Yeah, and if Chris Reese can stop that trend, the question remains, can anyone else on Illini Bluffs step up their game, and can they make shots? Because they've gotten good looks. Everyone on Illini Bluffs has gotten good looks. They play the 1-3-1 zone actually pretty well from what I've seen. They just got to hit their shots.
Heights will have the ball off the timeout. Just under 2 minutes to go in the first half. They'll set up a play out of the timeout. Wallace will take it herself, tries to get down to Russell.
What a pass.
She does, gets it up and in.
You want to talk about throwing the needle. What a pass in between 2 Illini Bluffs defenders, and Nyaja Russell once again on the receiving end of a great pass, and her finish was not the easiest there, but she was also able to convert it.
You said it, Michael. Not an easy finish, and got to have some strength to be able to pull that ball down and go up with it. 10 points for Russell. Down to Lakodiak. She's hacked underneath, and she will go to line to shoot 2.
Yeah, once again, Lily Lakodiak trying to finish it herself, and that can work for a extended period of time, but I got to think going to the halftime locker room for Chris Reese's Peoria Heights squad, they have to have a game plan to stop her, and if they do, once again, can any one of these Illini Bluffs Tigers step up?
Looking for her 17th point on the free throw. She does get it. So leading everybody in terms of individual scores, and of course leads her team individually. Dana gets it back out. Created some room for Foster, but they'll reset. Turnover.
It's not really a good pass there, but can Illini Bluffs, capitalize on this steal? And I wouldn't be surprised with this less than 30 seconds left to go in the half. Did they hold for the final shot?
I think a good possibility they do. They only trail by 4, and only one player has scored points for Illini Bluffs. Hard to believe. I think they're going to let them just have it. Chris Reese says hold off.
Yeah, don't do anything stupid. Play your 1-3-1 zone the way you've been doing it all night. It's been working.
They find the corner. Lakodiak doesn't hit anything. Bounce around, and that'll be the first half of play. 21-17. In front are the Patriots of Peoria Heights. A lot of good passing, led by 10 points from Nyaja Russell. And how about Illini Bluffs, Lily Lakodiak, all 17 of her team's points.
Yeah, you said it, Gavin, about it being the Lily Lakodiak Illini Bluffs squad. I mean, it's been that kind of game for them so far. Like I said, it's hard to imagine a one player on your team scoring all the points within a half, but that's what it's been so far for Illini Bluffs. The question for them in the half is, can any one of these players step up on Illini Bluffs besides Lily Lakodiak? Because Chris Reese's squad, they know that if they really want to stop this Illini Bluffs team, that they have to stop Lily Lakodiak.
Lily Lakodiak, of course, is kind of their focal point of their team and their offense. Best way to break a zone like this, you got to get somebody in the middle and kind of work out from that middle zone. Lily Lakodiak's taking a lot of the shots. Maybe they try to draw up some plays to work through her kind of in the middle, look for some of those open shots, eventually they'll start falling.
Yeah, if you have someone in the middle, like you said, Gavin, it does help because when you pass the ball in the middle, the defense does collapse in the middle, and that's why it's always good having someone tall in the middle because they can look over the defense and they can dish the ball out. And sometimes, you know, when you get the ball in the middle, there can be spots wide open in the three-point line. And like I said, with the 1-3-1 zone, excuse me, there's going to be shots in the corner that are going to be wide open, high percentage looks. So can they get the ball to the corner in those high percentage spots and hit those shots?
Certainly. Might have a bit of an extended halftime here. Illini Bluffs headed off to the locker room. Peoria Heights staying off is...
I think they're honoring that 1977 squad.
I believe you're correct, which definitely kind of coming full circle here for Peoria Heights. Again, history potentially in the making this evening, folks. Peoria Heights with the win would tie their all-time individual season record with 22 wins, which again this 1977 team was able to accomplish. And then a 23rd win, of course, would make them the winningest single season team in school history.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice for this team that, you know, historically hasn't necessarily been, you know, one of the top dogs in Class 1A in the area. But this year it's a completely different feeling in Peoria Heights about their girls basketball team, and I'm here for it. I hope the best for this team.
Certainly, definitely possibility, you know, down in Class 1A. A lot of good teams, not necessarily it's going to be an easy run to state, but the way they're playing against, say, an Illini Bluffs team tonight, they do have that potential to just make that historic run. I feel like sometimes these seasons only come around once in a while, and this might be it.
Yeah, and like you said, Gavin, these seasons do come once in a while, and, you know, you don't get the success often. You know, in any sport, in any level, really, success just goes like a wave. You get some years where you're just up on the peak, and you get some years where you're just down, and that's going to be even more true in high school basketball because you don't recruit. You have players come and go, and some years you go, you know, let's say just for the fun of it, you go 0-20 one year, and some years you go 20-0. It just so happens to be that way. And this year is one of those years for the Patriots where they're just one of the best teams.
Certainly, get a nice visual there of the current Patriots and former Patriots getting a picture there at center court.
What a nice gesture from the Patriots, though. This current Patriots team honoring that team and realizing that, hey, like, for anyone who's watched this 1977 team, they realized how good they were, and now they know just how this year's Peoria Heights Patriots team can really, like, play ball. Just nice gesture overall from Chris Reese's team.
Excited to make some more history on the girls' basketball side of things. It's been some years since they've done that, and they're ready to do it right now. We're going to step aside for a quick halftime break, and we'll be right back here at ClutchSportsAll.com. We've got Illini Bluffs and Peoria Heights, 21-17, our halftime score.
Central Illinois, we're going to overtime. After 4 years of preps covered in Central Illinois, Clutch Sports Media is ready for a new era. CSM Overtime.
What is CSM Overtime? We're going beyond the broadcast to give you in-depth coverage of your teams,
Your stories. Your stats and standings.
your highlights and action shots.
With your subscription, you'll get to see news and feature stories from all sports, up-to-date stats from around the area, and thoughtful analysis from our team of experts. As for our broadcast and social media coverage, it's only getting better.
With your support of Clutch Sports Media Overtime, we'll continue to grow our free broadcast coverage with more sports, more games, and more innovation.
And thanks to our partnership with Too Efficient Media, your social media feeds will be filled with Central Illinois' best sights and sounds. CSM Overtime will also give you access to full galleries from some of the most talented photographers and videographers in our region.
As the new season approaches, it's time for more.
More action, more stories.
More coverage of all Central Illinois sports. It's Clutch Sports Media Overtime.
Welcome back to Peoria Heights High School. It's halftime here at Roger Bergen Gymnasium. It's a 21-17 lead for Peoria Heights at the halftime break. Big storylines if you've just joined us here. Peoria Heights looking to make history. It would be their first 22-win season since 1977. A 23rd win here in the regular season would be an all-time record for a single season for the Patriots. And as for Illini Bluffs, very historic school when it comes to girls basketball. Tonight's storyline is Lily Lakodiak, all 17 of those points coming for the Tigers. A lot to watch, maybe some things that caught your eye other than those main storylines in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I don't want to copy that same storyline by Lily Lakodiak, but I will build off of it and say that, Illini Bluffs, 17 points by one player doesn't necessarily tell the whole story when it comes to this team. A lot of those players for Illini Bluffs have gotten good looks, they just haven't been able to make their shots, and Lily Lakodiak has been the beneficiary of making a lot of those shots that she's been taking. But one thing that's really caught my eye is honestly the atmosphere for a girls' game. I mean, look behind you, there's actually quite a bit of people here in the stands, and for a small school girls basketball game and high school basketball, I mean, I'm generally impressed. Shout out to the Peoria Heights community, and shout out to Illini Bluffs for traveling well. Indeed,
we've saw a couple ICC representatives here. Carrie Redeker, the head coach over there, watching a couple of future Cougars at ICC, and Emily Dana and Lily Lakodiak, and they're putting on a show tonight. Stat leaders so far, again, Lakodiak with 17, all of her team's points. As for Peoria Heights, they spread it around a little bit more than what Illini Bluffs did, but it's Nyasia Russell with 10 points, the junior. And I think that's my biggest takeaway is, you say once in a while these special seasons come around, but other than Emily Dana, they're going to have a lot coming back. I guess Janessa Wallace will be graduating as well, but a lot of this team will be back next year, and the way things are going, once you start something good, usually the trend kind of follows for years following.
Yeah, and that's what makes schools that, will have those successful seasons. That's what makes those schools, like, one of the best in the state is when you can be consistent and you're winning. When you can have those 20-5 seasons over and over and over again. It's not just that 1 year. It's not just that one fluke season that people like to say when you just have that 1 year success. It's building off of that success. And, that's one of the good things, one of the really unique things about small schools is that you're not always going to have, 10 seniors on a roster. You're going to have freshmen and sophomores have to step up. And, when you have those freshmen and sophomores step up on a team that is as good as, Peoria Heights is this year, maybe they can maybe they can bring some experience from this year's team and then next year's teams and so forth.
Certainly, and, now in the day and age with larger schools, we are starting to see that transfer portal, quote-unquote, starting to become a factor. I think that's ever more reason to appreciate the small schools because, like you said earlier, it's kind of, you take what you get and you make the best of it. And these communities have rallied around their teams really well, and a lot of great athletes homegrown right in their cities.
Yeah, and, it's not just, in the Peoria area. I can speak for my high school, too. Enrollment of just, I think, a little under 200. So it's one of those smaller public schools. And, you mentioned transfer portal. You see that a lot in bigger high schools. So a lot of those athletes that are sought after, 3-star recruits, 4-star recruits that, maybe want more exposure so they go to these prep academies. But it's different here in small school areas and small communities because, not a lot of these athletes are, these sought after Division I recruits. A lot of these athletes, I would be honest with you, not a lot of them can play in, Division I basketball. For what I've seen, I mean, a lot of them could probably play in Division III. In a lot of, the two big players for both teams are both ICC commits. So, not a lot of these players are pretty much sought after, and that's the really cool thing about these small communities.
It really is, and, they may not be as sought after, but you get to the next level, and you play a couple years. We've seen a lot of players then kind of go from maybe junior college, Division III, as you mentioned, and work their way up the ladder. Again, very homegrown, and you love to see it. Some great talent out here nevertheless. We've got about 3 minutes left on the clock till we get into the second half of action. Illini Bluffs just taking the court for their warm-ups, and Peoria Heights will come out to shoot around. We'll step aside for one more quick break and be right back to get things going in the second half of action. Illini Bluffs and Peoria Heights on ClutchSportsIL.com.
Attention business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you ready to take your brand to the next level? Look no further than Clutch Sports Media, your go-to destination for local high school sports coverage in Central Illinois. Our business has reached almost 1 million total views on YouTube and is connected with an astounding 39,000 accounts on social media, averaging thousands of views with each post. That's 39,000 engaged and passionate sports enthusiasts who love tuning into our content, ready to become your new customer. Clutch Sports Media is offering an exclusive opportunity for local businesses to seize the spotlight. We are opening up prime advertising spaces in our social media posts and live sports broadcasts. Partnering with Clutch Sports Media isn't just about visibility. It's about being part of a community that loves and embraces the spirit of sports. It's about making lasting connections with your target audience. Don't miss out on this winning opportunity. Clutch Sports Media, where Central Illinois plays its biggest games.
Welcome back to Peoria Heights High School. We've got second half of action just about to get underway as the Patriots and Tigers ready to decide a winner. Unless we get overtime, of course, and then we play a few extra minutes of ball, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because we've had a good one so far. It's been the Lily Lakodiak show for the Illini Bluffs Tigers, who have all 17 of their team's points. Been a little more spread out for Patriots 21. Before we get second half started, wanted to plug for you. Got Athlete of the Week voting on CSM Overtime, so you can head to clutchsportsil.com to vote for boys and girls athletes. Until Wednesday, I believe it is, at 6 p.m., you can vote for some of the best in Central Illinois last week. See who takes home those honors. A lot of articles have just come out. Power rankings, some game stories, some feature stories, lots of features, lots of basketball coverage coming your way in the written form. So while you're eating dinner or going to bed, getting up in the morning with your morning coffee, no better way to spend it than reading about some high school hoops in the area, boys and girls alike, big school, small school. Clutch Sports team of writers has you covered. We've been busy, so go check it out. Second half of action, though, for our live coverage, because we love live broadcasts, too, for free. Coming your way now as Illini Bluffs starts with the ball, and they'll face, again, that imposing zone from Peoria Heights.
Yeah, they're playing more of a 2-1-2 from what I've seen in the first half. There's a little bit of a change up here. Maybe that just throws Illini Bluffs a little bit off, too.
Trying to survey on the perimeter. They do get it into the middle, inside. Back out, top of the key. Three is good. Annabelle Fortin, the first non-Lily Lakodiak player to score for the Tigers.
And you said it, Gavin. That's big for the Illini Bluffs Tigers, getting another player besides Lakodiak scoring. I mean, that's huge for the team's morale and confidence.
Just what I said at halftime, you got to kind of play through the middle, and they found her wide open at the top of the key. Emily Dana will try to drive in, but is cut off. Foster has it. She's got that tough matchup of Lakodiak on her. Back to Emily Dana, but it's tipped away, and it'll stay with Peoria Heights. Referees had to switch the possession arrow on the scores table.
He's got to make sure everything's right.
We're all tidied up now. Fast start for the Tigers. Hit a three to open the quarter. Moves it around. Foster has it. Will look to drive inside. Goes around Wallace. Rather, that's Russell. Couldn't get it to go. A little bit of contact. Referees say she was playing straight up.
Yeah, that was a good call. Good no call by the refs there. She was playing straight up, definitely. And once again, Russell being very aggressive. She's been aggressive all game so far.
Couple minutes into the third. Ken has it on the logo. Near side of 410. Gets it down low, spins around, up and in. The lead back to Illini Bluffs. Scoring that one was Reese Cruitt.
And another Tiger on the score column. It's not just Luke Kodiak now. 2 Tigers have scored. So once again, big morale boost for this Tigers team.
Very fast changeup at halftime.
Ooh,
Three-pointer, no good. That was deep. Emily Dana tried to secure the offensive board, couldn't get it.
That's a very gutsy shot there, I got to say. I mean, you got to be confident you can knock down those shots if you want to take that kind of shot.
Got close, but didn't quite pay off.
Yeah, it was actually pretty close, I got to say.
410 can't get it to go. I believe a Patriot got a hand on it, driving to the hole. Now Dana will drive up the floor. Not a lot of open shots here in the early going of the second half for Heights. They'll work it back out to Janessa Wallace. She's made a lot of those nice passes. Unofficially, probably at least 3 or 4 assists on the evening. Dana's trapped, throws it up the no man's land. It's turned over. Up the floor, Lakodiak goes up herself, and a foul is called, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, from what I've seen from the Illini Bluffs on the defensive end especially, they're playing straight up man-to-man. They know they can guard a lot of the teams in the area man-to-man wise pretty well. And it's got to be because of their height. You know, there's a lot of girls on this team that are pretty tall for high school basketball standards, and it's helped them pretty much. I mean, this whole game.
Kodiak will shoot the second of her 2 foul shots. And can't get either one. Bounces around. And it'll be taken down. Empty trip for the Tigers. Step back shot is blocked away. Tigers have numbers. They come 4-on-2 down the floor. Lakodiak goes herself and finishes. Gets back those 2 points, and they're up by 3.
Yeah, not a good shot on the other end by the Patriots. I mean, you gotta move the ball and get a better shot than that. Just an ill-advised 3-point shot. That shot made it seem like there was a shot clock, and the shot clock was running down. But no, there's no shot clock. You can take as much time as you want on the offensive end.
And a reach-in foul is going to go on 410. Caught a break there. Looked like it could have been another turnover. Heights yet to have scored, so kind of roles reversed here from the second quarter to the third quarter. Illini Bluffs kind of fell into that dry spell. They got down by as much as 10 at one point. Now it's Peoria Heights in that dry spell, and they trail by 3.
Yeah, well, Lakodiak scored all the points for Illini Bluffs in the end of the first half. It was only a 4-point game, so you had a feeling that if any more Tigers stepped up and scored besides Lakodiak, they probably would have gotten the lead.
And a foul on the drive, and it'll be Janessa Wallace going to the charity stripe to shoot 2. Wallace has been very aggressive here in the early going, Michael. Can't hit the first foul shot. Got to stay aggressive. You know, you don't want to shy away from your game, but maybe try to work around and get back to that passing she had in the first half that really paid dividends.
Yeah, there's a such thing as being good aggressive and bad aggressive, and being bad aggressive is taking those ill-advised shots that she doesn't have to take. You know, it's not 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. You don't need to take that 3-pointer to be the hero in the game per se. But there's also a good aggressive that, you know, you can take aggressive passes that you know you can do and take aggressive shots. And so far, her shot selection hasn't really been that great.
Buchanan has it. Looks around. Bounce past the 410. Gets into the quarter. Works it around a lot. Lakodiak step back shot is no good. Bounces around. Dana comes out with it. Still no buckets in the third for Heights. Foster kicks it back out and gets it back immediately. Cox will try to set something up with Wallace. Back over to Foster for 3, no good. Decent looking shot there, just didn't fall.
Yeah, it was a good form and honestly a really good look for three. I mean, they've moved the ball around, they got a good look, but just unable to knock it down. And now they're back to what I'd say is more of their 1-3-1.
Lakodiak goes down low and she's fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2. Free throws have not been kind to either side tonight. Left a few points out there. Offense is slowed to pretty much a halt since halftime. Again, no baskets or points for Peoria Heights. As now it's a 4-point lead, can be 5 for Lily Lakodiak with this second free throw. And she gets it.
Yeah, now you're seeing more of a balanced scoring attack from the Illini Bluffs Tigers, and this is probably what they're more accustomed to seeing is not just Lily Lakodiak scoring, but, you know, all these other players scoring. So it's good for them to, you know, settle out the kinks at halftime.
Dana with a move, goes in, double team, no good. Russell gets it, throws it up, and one.
That's a big shot from Russell, and we've said it all night. She's very strong down low. She's making a living down low, getting offensive rebounds and being the beneficiary of really good passes by this Heights team, and one opportunity.
Getting back to the bread and butter of the first half. Foul shot is short, and it's going to stay with Peoria Heights. So they'll get another opportunity. Gets it into Tania Cox, back to Emily Dana. Cox, a little dribble drive handoff. Dana tries to make a move. Finally gets free, steps through, gets in, and a nice looking shot. Emily Dana created that play entirely herself.
Yeah, good crossover there too. It's a really pretty crossover and a really pretty floater shot to her left hand.
Lakodiak throws it up. Some contact and a technical foul is going to go on Jim Belleville of Illini Bluffs.
Yeah, I don't think he's too pleased with the officiating, not calling fouls in their favor, and you know maybe he's seen stuff that maybe they should have been calling, but in the rest of it felt different ways about it.
Obviously, the game's moving a lot faster. Both these teams are playing highly aggressive. Hard to maybe get everything, call everything. I think in general they've let them play pretty well on both ends. Whether or not he thought that was a foul, the referees didn't. They didn't want to argue about it for too much longer.
Yeah, it's a hard line to cross either way, because on one end you might think that the refs, you know, are letting them play too much, and the other end you don't want the refs to take control of the game. So it's that hard balance line to, you know, maybe try to balance. And some refs like letting the girls play a little bit more, and some refs like the girls not playing as much and controlling the game. So once again, it's just a hard line to balance.
Emily Dana able to tie the ball game with the 1 of 2 from the line, and they'll get the ball back. Emily Dana will have it again, top of the key. Cox hands it back off to Dana. And now to Wallace. She'll try to make a move. Steps through, kicks it out. Foster, the triple, no good. As Wallace gets the board, under a minute to go in the third. Turns around, floats it up high off the glass. And that's a 2-point lead for the Patriots.
She had 2 Illini Bluffs trees over the top of her. That was a really hard shot to take, and it really took banging off the top of the backboard to hit that shot.
Stolen away, 40 seconds to go. Patriots getting a resurgence here at the end of the third. Down low, nice pass off to Russell.
So once again, a really nice dish off the Russell down low, and she knows what to do when she's down the block. She knows how to finish.
A lightning quick 9-0 run for the Patriots. Under 30 seconds to go in the third. Ken has it. Moves it around, back to 4-10. Lakodiak, 10 seconds to go. 4-10 for 3. Got it to go. scoring parade both sides. Snaps a 9-0 run. At the horn, Wallace for three. Go! Almost got it to go.
That's a really good look from Wallace right at the out-of-court line. I mean, that's probably the shot you'd practice at the end of practice. But that was really close.
Nice looking little rainbow shot just off the back iron. And we are in store for a great finish. Michael Savoy, a 1-point game as Heights able to just narrowly hang on to their lead. While we got a break in the action, we want to tell you, you can advertise with us. We do a lot of great high school basketball matchups and other high school sports for that matter around Central Illinois. And if you're a business here in Central Illinois, you want to promote yourself, hit us up, clutchsportsil@gmail.com, and we'd love to give you some more information about how you can support local high school athletics and the coverage of it by sponsoring. Get your name out there, Peoria, Bloomington, Normal, and everything in between. Advertise with us today, clutchsportsil@gmail.com.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of how Illini Bluffs has really started to scatter out the scoring more. We said it was the Loyola Kodiak Tigers at the end of the first half, but now it's turning more of the Illini Bluffs total team effort. I mean, you got to talk about Annabelle Ford hitting two pretty big threes in the third quarter. So I've liked what I've seen out of the Illini Bluffs team in terms of the overall scoring. And for Peoria Heights, they've went a little bit more out of their game in the third quarter, which caused Illini Bluffs to come a little bit more back into this game. But ever since they've, at probably the later half of the third quarter, they've gone back and they've went on the run and they've started to go back to their style of playing.
Works it around, starting out the fourth quarter. Patriots with the ball. And they didn't score for a majority of that third quarter and then went on a tear in the last couple minutes. Dano wide open for three, just off the back iron. Tips around, gotten back by the Patriots.
That was Russell on the rebound. That's pretty big. I mean, she was surrounded by two Illini Bluffs players, and they're definitely taller than her. And you know, that's the sign to see how strong Russell really is down low. Her heart, I mean, she's really all for it.
Illini Bluffs playing tough defense, but not able to get that last rebound. Peoria Heights not in a hurry. They'll move the ball around plenty. Good ball movement can be key as long as you can make your possession something by the end of it.
Yeah, and I think even because Heights has the lead by one, if you can get rid of some time, you know, it doesn't matter if you capitalize on it or not. If you get enough time off, then that's a good possession.
Foster was unable to get the runner, and eventually a foul here is going to go on Foster on loose ball foul. So back to Illini Bluffs. That was about a minute possession right there. Actually, they had the ball for just about all of the quarters so far.
It's a good possession.
And Lakodiak will draw a blocking foul, first of the quarter. Gets it in bounds. Down low, tipped away, goes up, no good. Lakodiak gets the offensive board and puts it in. Regains the lead for Illini Bluffs.
That's one of the rare times that Russell's been out-muscled and out-strengthened down low by Lakodiak, and that's probably because of Lakodiak's size. She's pretty tall out there.
Foster can't get it to go. Russell with the offensive board and gets it in. Back and forth we go.
I have to appreciate Peoria Heights still putting on a full-court zone press, but they easily drop out of it, and Illini Bluffs easily breaks it.
Down low in the middle for 10, gets it to go. There's 3 lead changes in a matter of about a minute. Russell gets it off the foot. Tania Cox kicks it out. Wallace has it. Back to Foster. Nearly a turnover.
I gotta say these two teams look tired. You said in the open how these two teams don't play many players. They play at least 6 to 7 of them, and we're seeing it now where both these teams are pretty exhausted, slow moving, and it's just gonna be the team that prevails that is the most energetic team at the end of the day, the team that can do it.
Takes it back out. Wallace for three, just short off the iron. Bounces around. Cox comes out with it. It's tipped around and tipped out by Illini Bluffs. No, it's going to be Peoria Heights basketball.
Yeah.
That's
they said Illini Bluffs at first, but they're easily going to change that. It looks, yep.
That was very easily off on. Looked like 410.
Yeah, you're right, Gavin. It easily went off of the Illini Bluffs player. Just wanted the little bit of a mental mistake by the ref. I mean, I'm sure he didn't. Yeah, I'm sure he didn't mean to have it that way. It's just a matter of how he's called it before.
That's why there's 3 refs on the court.
Yeah, they easily sorted that one out.
Dana drives down. Looking maybe for a lane to the hoop. Nothing going on. Down low. Back to Wallace. Back to Dana. Dana shoots for 3. Can't get it to go. Illini Bluffs trying to extend the lead. Lakodiak goes up off the glass. No good.
If the Patriots go, they have numbers.
Illini Bluffs was able to get back and stop the transition run under halfway point of the 4th quarter. Cox goes up, just rolls off.
It's a good percentage look by Cox there. Good layup attempt too. It's just rolled off the rim.
Illini Bluffs might try to chew a little time. As you mentioned, both teams probably feeling a bit gassed.
Yeah, I think Chris Reese wants them to do more trapping here in their zone. Not have Illini Bluffs take as much time off the clock as they would have liked.
Illini Bluffs, probably their biggest thing is controlling the ball at this point, time of possession. They get in the middle. Lakodiak back out wide open for 3 is good.
Well, you mentioned it, Gavin, Marissa Robinson right in the right wing for 3, and that only happened because the ball was put in the middle in that zone. They collapsed the defense and allowed the 3-point shooters to be wide open.
Getting into crunch time for Heights. They can turn it up in a hurry, but Illini Bluffs putting the pressure on. Down low, Cox, a little out of control, gets it back out. Dana for 3, no good. Bounces around, and it'll be a jump ball as it'll go back to Illini Bluffs. So now on this possession, the Tigers, big opportunity to extend this well into a 2-possession game.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the biggest possessions in the game. You talk about a 4-point lead for the team with the ball, Illini Bluffs, and right now the timeout is going to be taken by Chris Reese's Patriots squad, it's Illini Bluffs at the timeout, and I got to say, I would have just said that both coaches wanted to talk things over. So I think for Illini Bluffs, they want to talk things over about taking care of the ball because you don't want to be risky with the ball in this situation. You don't want to turn it over the ball because they know if they turn over the ball, this Heights team can score in a hurry.
Yeah, certainly, and I think this timeout from Jim Belleville is probably one of those that I don't want to say put away. There's a little bit too much time to say one shot here could end it all. But it could go a long way to being the deciding factor if they can put together a solid possession here.
Yeah, and I got to wonder if, Chris Reese's team, they go to more of a man-to-man just because they know if they play a zone, it's going to be very conservative on the defensive end, and they know that if they want to get more out of the Illini Bluffs team on their offensive possessions, they probably should play more man-to-man because they can be more risky, or Illini Bluffs can be more risky with the ball if they play man-to-man defense.
Tigers come back out of the timeout.
The only thing going against the Patriots right now is that there's no shot clock. So, there's a lot of time for Illini Bluffs just to take care of the ball if they choose to do so. But I like this Patriots trap right here.
Try to trap. They get it up quickly across half court. Chris Reese calls out the defense from the sideline for the Patriots. Over the head and a turnover. That's obviously the very last thing and a product of that defensive pressure, Michael.
Yeah, the defensive pressure, they've been playing pretty conservative all night really for their 1-3-1. They play very unconventionally. When you play a 1-3-1 the way it's really supposed to be ran, you're trapping, you're playing aggressive. But no, this Patriots team, they've pretty much been playing the passing lanes all night besides this moment because they know they got to be aggressive for the turnovers.
Patriots just a couple minutes to get back into it. Thrown up off the glass. Tough shot from Tania Cox. It's a 2-point ball game.
It's a big shot there by the Patriots.
And nearly a turnover. Lakodiak recovers, gets down, drives down the lane, and a foul driving inside. Chris Reese, not a fan of that call. Wanted to travel. Might have been some contact before that last step.
Yeah, Russell with the foul there, and she wasn't really pleased with that either. She didn't really think she did anything wrong, but nonetheless.
Three-pointer is good!
Oh, boy, what a big shot.
Big shot there from Marissa Robertson.
And ever since the end of the first half for her, she's been lights out from three.
Down low to Russell, back to Wallace. She'll try to answer, she does! Back and forth we go, 2-point ball game. Minute and a half to go. Really starting to heat up here. Fasten those seatbelts, folks. 2-on-1.
I really like that decision by Illini Bluffs not to get the ball down low, but to keep it on the top. Just take care of it. Waste time on the clock because that's what's working against the Patriots right now. It's the time.
Illini Bluffs is going to try to bleed clock if at all possible, is what Jim Belleville's saying from the bench. Keep it out. Keep the ball moving. Emily Dana, pressure near the timeline. Under a minute to go now. And fouled. That was the final foul to give. What do you do here, Michael? Do you try to trap for a couple seconds, or do you just conserve time and foul immediately?
I would say conserve time, honestly. I mean, you don't have to foul immediately. I would only say conserve time if it goes to one of the better Illini Bluffs free throw shooters, so you got to think about Lakodiak. But right now you can foul, yep. So that's a good foul there because we have not seen Butchin at the line. So seeing her at the line and seeing what she can do, I mean, I wouldn't want anyone like Lakodiak at the line. So if she got the ball, then I would just trap her. But a good foul nonetheless for the Patriots.
Brooke Buchanan at the line. Hasn't gotten on the board tonight, but played a lot of minutes, kind of the point guard. Big foul shots here. First of two, no good. So the foul pays off. One more free throw can make this a 3-point ball game potentially.
She's got a box out for the Patriots. It's a big opportunity here to box out.
No good, but it's a rebound.
No box out there.
And
that's crucial.
Big time missed opportunity and a timeout taken here, I believe, by Illini Bluffs.
Yep, 30-second.
They're going to talk things over. That would have been huge for the Patriots to have gotten that rebound off two missed free throws. Now they'll get an opportunity probably to go back to the line again. This is kind of where champions are made in these late game scenarios. I think that both coaches are going to love what this game is, no matter the outcome, just for the sheer fact it's prepping their teams for the postseason.
Yeah, the atmosphere here is insane. I mean, you got to talk about a small school girls high school basketball game. I'm looking behind me right now. This gym is packed, but talk about the game at hand. I mean, big missed opportunity for the Patriots. I mean, you got to box out there, and you've always heard me talk about, Gavin, boxing out, doing the small stuff right. That's what wins you games, and right now, if the Tigers were to win this game, that box out, that mixed box opportunity is going to be something to look back on.
Lakodiak gets it down, bounces around, and fouled finally after a couple seconds. And it'll be two foul shots coming up here for Reese Cruitt.
Yeah, Cruitt's not the one I would like to see at the line, but honestly, you have time to trap and see if they pass the ball to a shooter that you probably would rather want to see at the line, but a foul nonetheless is not a big deal.
3 missed free throws for Illini Bluffs now.
Just got to box out again. This is even bigger now because there's less time on the clock.
Cruitt, second shot from the line, and 48 seconds to go. It's up, it bounces off, it's no good. Offensive board put in by Lakodiak.
Once again, a mixed box opportunity for the Patriots, and this time it counts for 2, so it's even bigger mistake now.
Cox with the offensive board. 34 seconds and counting. Illini Bluffs needs to get it in. They do, and fouled immediately. 30.2 on the clock. Now free throws again coming into play, but 2 missed opportunities from Heights. Really the only downside for the Patriots. They lost about 18 seconds off the clock. Otherwise, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, you were saying, Gavin, how they missed the first free throw. Okay, it was okay to foul them, but at the end of the day, can you box them out is the question. And right now, from what we've seen from Heights, they weren't able to box them out in the two times they could have boxed them out, and one of them was a putback opportunity for 2 right away.
4-10 makes the first foul shot, and 1 more to go. Very big, makes it a 2-possession game with a made basket. We'll see if Heights takes a timeout off of it. Is good. 4-point ball game. 2 big free throws. Under 30 seconds to go. Here comes Wallace. Hands it off to Dana. Dana drives around. Kicks it back. Foster, 20 seconds to go. Peoria Heights has to make something happen. Dana, long 3-pointer, no good. And it is going to go back to Illini Bluffs. So now if they can make a couple free throws, might be all she wrote. Down the court, Lakodiak gets it, drives down, throws it into no man's land. No foul call, and we will get a timeout from the Patriots. 8.8. Going to be very, very difficult now at this point with limited time remaining. I'm
not really sure what Lakodiak was thinking with that pass. I mean, it was a good pass off the inbound. It was one of those passes where you see a good size matchup there with Lakodiak and a smaller Patriots player, but then she goes down to the baseline, and then for whatever reason, she throws the ball back thinking that, that might waste more time off the clock, but no, she threw it right back to a Patriots player, and all of a sudden, it creates this dilemma that didn't really need to be created, and I saw Jim Belleville not really pleased with Lakodiak's play right there. That pass, I mean, the inbound pass was good, and then she drove to the baseline, which was good, but that extra pass she did was not the smartest play.
Definitely some things to go back and watch on the film later. But these are where, you kind of make yourself better. And, of course, Peoria Heights would have loved to have tied that single-season win record with 22. But they had a tall task. It's not over yet. We've seen crazier things happen, Michael. So we'll see how the last 8.8 shakes out if they can make a miracle out of something here.
You got to hurry up and score, though.
Wallace, not a lot of time. She's got to go down and score fast, and she's fouled, and probably smart. That might just about do it. With no fouls in the quarter, they've got all the time in the world to just give some fouls.
Yeah, it's a really smart play, and, I wouldn't say foul them now. I mean, it'd be pretty remarkable. You have to foul them on a 3-point make.
3-pointer is no good, and that will end things. Illini Bluffs comes to Heights and escapes with the victory, 43-39.
What a game played by both of these teams. For Peoria Heights, I mean, this is one of those seasons where they can look back on it and say, we did one hell of a job this year. And even though they weren't able to beat Illini Bluffs tonight, this is one of those games where both teams come out victorious.
Really well-fought game between both sides. Saw a lot of action. Both teams were able to make their respective runs at it. Wasn't even most of the game. Both teams were able to just kind of get on at certain times and stay going. Ultimately, at the end of things, it was Illini Bluffs who made the better plays, and really what it came down to, Michael, was the lacks of boxing out. A couple of missed opportunities on rebounds kind of cost Peoria Heights.
Yeah, I've always talked about the small things and how they can control a game, and for Peoria Heights, boxing out was the deciding factor in this game. Were they able to put a body on somebody at the crucial time of this game? And the answer to that was no. And they did it twice, actually. They did it once, and that first time they did it was just a foul drawn against Peoria Heights. So it wasn't the biggest deal in the world, but then the second time was brutal. And the second time ended up being a second chance opportunity, which was a make.
It was a great game by both sides. Lily Lakodiak had a night. She had all of her team's points, 17 at the break. Slowed down considerably in the second half, but overall, what a performance by her. She, of course, is the leader of this team and showed why tonight.
Yeah, and it's not really just her at the end of the day. I mean, it was really just her at the first half, scoring all the team's points in the first half. But then it was about the other players on Illini Bluffs stepping up. They had to step up if they really wanted to win tonight. And we saw some big threes made by Reese Cruden and some big threes made by Annabelle Foran. So, you know, it was all about if everyone else on Illini Bluffs, all the playmakers for that team, if they stepped up, and they definitely did in the second half. That's what propelled them to this victory.
Certainly. Both teams have big things on their mind. Peoria Heights will still no doubt make history this season. I'm pretty confident they'll get to that 22-win mark at least, and probably beyond going into the postseason, as the Patriots have some big things set on in the postseason, as does Illini Bluffs. Both teams are definitely among favorites out of the Peoria area to make a run into the postseason, potentially even make it down to Redbird Arena and go to state. Got a lot of great basketball coming up. Michael, it's a pleasure on the call. Any final thoughts?
Great game, great atmosphere, and, you know, for a really small school basketball game, and, you know, a lot of these fans showed out. I mean, I love the experience here.
Certainly is a great experience. Appreciate Peoria Heights for letting us come out this evening in a great played ball game between Illini Bluffs and Peoria Heights. Final score 43-39 as the Tigers overtake the Patriots. That'll do it for our entire crew here at Clutch Sports Media. Patrick Huber on the camera tonight. Jonathan Michael behind the controls, as well as taking pictures. I'm sure you'll see those on your social feeds and whatnot later on. And got to throw in there as well, go check out CSM Overtime. Tons of content on CSM Overtime right now, as well as all the usual photo galleries, stats, standings, and more. Plenty to check out on CSM Overtime. For my broadcast partner, Michael Savoy, I'm Gavin Russell saying so long from Peoria Heights. Tigers winners tonight. We'll be back soon, folks. Stay tuned.